All right, so it's going to be that time of year again where spring is here, the weather's getting nice, people who are moving to Charlotte start thinking about coming down here for a visit, and they want to know what's going on. One of the things you got to do if you're moving to Charlotte is you got to look at the suburbs, you got to look at the individual neighborhood. And what we're going to do today is take you around Harrisburg, North Carolina, a great little suburb just to the east, just outside the 485 loop along Route 49. East of Charlotte by about 13 miles. Takes you about 20-25 minutes to get into Uptown from Harrisburg. So stick around. Hey, I'm Dave DeSilva with Longtime Realty, brokered by eXp Realty here in Charlotte, or actually there in Charlotte. We're in Harrisburg right now. If this is the first time to this channel, please go ahead and press that subscribe button. That was tough for me to say today. Press that subscribe button, hit the ding, hit the bell, and you'll be the first to know, first to be made aware of when we're putting out new information about the Charlotte market. So we're covering everything north, south, east, and west, inside Charlotte, outside Charlotte. So regardless of whether you're thinking of making the move in 10 days, 10 weeks, or 10 months, and if you're coming down here soon, you gotta send us a text, send us a comment, let us know what you're looking for, ask us details. We get text messages, we get emails, you get Zoom calls requests all the time from folks just like you trying to get more information about Charlotte, and we love helping you guys. So like I said, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna hit some of the neighborhoods of Harrisburg. We're not gonna do just a video on housing. We're gonna show you the outskirts, some of the parks, some of the athletic facilities, some of the places to eat, drink, play, have fun, the high schools, all the stuff you should know about an area before moving into that area. If you want more detail, like I said, get in touch with us. We'll provide that more detail. So here we go. And for me, there's no better place to start than a memorial facility, a memorial park for our veterans. This is Veterans Park, and it's right in the center of Harrisburg, really. And I'll tell you this again, but Harrisburg's not necessarily one of those walkable towns, but this is a great place to come and sit. There's benches all over the place you can see. Just come and relax, hang out. You've got some park rules, but they're not strict. One of the neat things about this place is you've got, let's see if we can take a look over this direction a little bit. Over there. You've got restaurants, you've got shopping, you've got a Publix over there, you've got ice cream stores, everything pretty close by, but that's walkable. So that's nice if you're in Veterans Park and you need to grab a sandwich. What's nice about Veterans Park, you've got this right behind me, facsimiles of the U.S. Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights. So it's kind of cool. You can start there, start reading about your history a little bit. They've got the wall over here that outlines each of the wars that the United States has been involved in, including the Korean conflict, which is not technically a war, and talks a little bit about the men who gave their lives, how many people were in our armed services at that time, the population of the United States, and you'll be surprised to see sometimes we've lost 10%, or we had 10% of our, at the one time way back when, mostly men in the service, 10% of our population. So some good information, nice historical background, and of course we've got flags of all the services and the United States of America. So from here we're going to head over to Harrisburg Park and take a look at that. One thing you're going to notice about Harrisburg is it's not really that sort of a Matthew, Pineville, Mid-Hill, downtown area where people are walking, going places back and forth. There are tons of parks here, we'll get to those, but it's more of a Route 49 drive-through as far as the center of town goes in Harrisburg. It's got about 20,000 people in Harrisburg. The last population count, I think, had just over 18,500, and that, I believe, was in 2022. So we're a couple years down the road, and there's a lot of growth going on in Harrisburg, a lot of new neighborhoods, and we'll go through some of them, single-family homes and condo townhomes. But right now, we're seeing the traffic. It's almost 5 o'clock. And 4:30, 4 o'clock is about the time traffic's going to start hitting this road, Route 49, Highway 49, which directly comes off of 485 around the ring of Charlotte. We're on the east side, about 13 to 15 miles from Uptown Charlotte. So we'll give you a little bit of a map tour at another time of Harrisburg and give that to you in more detail. But we just really want to show you the center of Harrisburg. And this is it. Again, lots of great restaurants, lots of great parks, great shopping, and then there's a lot of nearby attractions as well. We'll talk about those once we get to Harrisburg Park and can sit down and talk a little bit more in depth. So there you go. Okay, we are coming up to probably one of the nicest parks you're going to see anywhere. Just look at the great entry to this park, and this is Harrisburg Park. Harrisburg Park actually had shut down for a good long time to do some renovation and some expansion, and this is the first time I've been back here. It actually reopened in 2021, so you see the great playground there, synthetic turf on the ground. Back there's an amphitheater, and I believe they've got what they're calling a 20-foot movie screen, so they can have the Berg at the park or the festival at the Berg. Oh, here it is, Run at the Berg, 5K fun run on April 20th, so that's in about a week or two. But there's also running trails, walking trails, hiking trails, biking trails. There's the splash pad right there on the right. There's some athletic fields, and we're going to see what else we can find down here. There's a 9-hole disc golf course. This is one of the places that we did not play soccer during my son and daughter's club soccer careers, but they've got some great fields here. So here again is the backside of the amphitheater, and far to the right you're going to see some of the smaller fields. I know they've got some bigger ones. There's the amphitheater. Looks like there's some activity going on there, and you can rent out these little pavilions here. You see the grill the Shillman's got going on, and here right to the right is one of the big football soccer fields and the expansive fields. So just an awesome place. And this is one of many parks. We may be getting out to Frank Lisk Park, which is a field that my kids grew up playing soccer on when they would come and play the local teams here. We're going to take a right down the street here. We're also going to pop by Veterans Park, which I always want to do that. We'll come to these suburbs of Charlotte. There's another pavilion with restrooms. Looks like some soccer practice starting down there. It's about 33 acres total. Did I already mention the playground? I think I did. The concession stand, but they do have movies in the park back at that 20-foot screen. And then they've got Rockin' the Berg Summer Concert Series. And right now I'm taking a peek. Actually, you can't see it, but I can. Maybe I'll be able to get you a little view of it, of the mountain bike trail right up there. There were some kids riding their mountain bikes over the trail. There's the soccer field again. So again, this is Harrisburg Park. When we take a left in here in front of this guy and show you a little bit of the woods and the trail, and another shelter that you can rent. Pretty nice. Right up on top of there, you can see the dug up dirt. That's some of the mountain bike trail. So awesome location. It's just about 5:45. Looks like cars are just streaming in here for their kids' practice and all that good stuff. And you can take a peek out over there, look into the sunlight. So that's Harrisburg Park, one of the many. One of the great things that I forgot to mention about Harrisburg Park is this building right here. This is a public library here. So come get educated and then learn more about the life and athletics and health and fitness at the library in Harrisburg Park. Okay, I'm pulling into Caldwell Crossing here in Harrisburg, and as is my habit for every one of the suburbs that I like to highlight around the Charlotte market, I want to show you what is available for shopping. And inevitably there's a Harris Teeter shopping center, and this is the one in, here we go, in Harrisburg. So you've got the Harris Teeter in here, you've got a Wings place up the street a little bit, you've got a nice Harris Teeter gas station, which not all of the Harris Teeters have that, but that's nice for this one. And of course you got your typical nail spa, Marco's Pizza, and here's the Wings place right here, which is East Coast Wings and Grill, and the Jeep out front. I like that. And then Jersey Mike's, Family Dentistry, and then there's the Pet Hospital, which we've seen at a couple places. But again, this was just a quick tour. There are a number of other little shopping centers like this, and we'll kind of go through a couple of them and give you an idea of the availability and the capacity for Harrisburg to meet up with everybody's needs. So that's the first Harris Teeter shopping center. There you go. All right, so we are pulling up to a little bit more of an updated section of Harrisburg, and this is the town hall here on the right, and this is called, this part of the town is called the Harrisburg Town Center. And across the street from the town hall, here's the Novant Health, the Harrisburg Medical Office building. It's a good-sized medical facility. A ton in here. You could see, dentist offices, attorney's office. I'm sure there's orthodontist. I was going to say, I'm sure there's a spa in here somewhere. But some of the places that I'm looking for that I know are here is the Rocky River Coffee Company and then Bubba's Bunkhouse. I think that's at the end. And probably the place that gets a lot of people out on a night like this, even though it's a Monday, is that Tap House. And in 2018, where the heck is it? It must be right up here on the right. 2018, that was the first brewery in Harrisburg. That's the Percent Tap House. There's a Rocky River Coffee Company. And we're at the end. There's a Woodcock Mexican restaurant. We will go ahead and find a couple other places for you that's in this one Harrisburg Town Center area. But the nice thing about this is it's connected to two multifamily locations that are very well priced, in my opinion, in the high 2s, 3s, and 4s. And that is Harrisburg Town Center and Harrisburg Village. So we're going to go through there. I'm going to talk about pricing. Actually, we're kind of coming through these little sections right now. This is Harrisburg Town Center. And Harrisburg Town Center is actually the more affordable of the townhome locations. I'll tell you all about the townhomes and condos that have sold in the past 90 days. Right now, there are 19 active, and they range from $285,000 to $483,000. The average price is $432,000, and you can see that all of those that have sold were 3-bedroom to 2.5 bath, about 1,700 to 1,800 square feet, give or take. And like I said, that's 19 of those have sold in the last 90 days. And we're right in that town center area. So it's kind of nice. We'll just drive through here for a second. Very nice and a lot of green. This is extremely walkable up to the Harrisburg Town Center, where you can shop, eat, get your health needs taken care of, all that good stuff. But as I was saying, the last 90 days, what is sold in these two communities and a couple others around Harrisburg, but primarily here, 32 sold in Harrisburg. Average price of $382,000. This is just condos and townhomes. And then there's some new ones going up too. Between $225,000, and that's the town center, and $512,000. That's the high end of those townhomes and condos that have sold. So these are pretty nice, very nice looking. You see a lot of the green grass, people walking out there with their kids, people walking without kids. There we go. But again, we're going to swing back in a second and show you some of the new construction going up and talk about that in a second. Right, here we go again. Again, these are single-family residential on one side. The other side are like duplex or quads or triplex. I call them triplex, but it's 3 townhomes, 3 condos stuck together. This way, give you a little bit of a look heading into the sun. Sorry if that blinds anybody. If I bump into something, then you know I'm blinded as well. And all this stuff here is 2022, 2023, 2024. Here we go with the new construction homes. Yeah, these are all Eastwood. And there's some that are a little bit more done on the other side of the street, but these are just coming out of the ground. Some that aren't even coming out of the ground yet, and some that are for sale. So we've got, again, these things anywhere from $285,000 to $483,000, active on the market, 19 homes. So you can get affordable housing. It's all relative. And here's a little bit different neighborhood. This is Blume. This neighborhood was built in 2018, 19, 20, give or take time frame. These houses in here are in the 6s, high 6s, 7s, 8s, maybe the 9s plus, all brick, obviously. You get 2 and 3 car front load, side load, garages. Actually, I haven't seen any front load yet, but it's this neighborhood's in 2 sections. This is one section. We'll maybe take a trip over to the other section. Missed the house. That was for $837 on the right. And hello, we're going to talk to you just a little bit about what is for sale in Harrisburg. Run into a dead end down here, I believe. Nope, we'll just take a left. But right now in Harrisburg, and this is all neighborhoods, you've got 25 active homes. So not a ton, but Harrisburg is not huge. 18, 20,000 people living in Harrisburg. But you've got 25 homes on the market. ranging from $350,000, which is an affordable home nowadays for should be anyway, up to $1.795 million. So there's a huge range. The average home right now that's on the market is listed at $641,000. And these span from 2-bedroom, 2-bath, built in 1970, up to 5-bedroom, actually 6-bedroom, 5-bath. That's huge. Built in, what was that, 2021, I think. So some pretty big homes. 5,917 square feet is that big giant that we're talking about. That's not in this neighborhood. That's in a different neighborhood. But again, average of $641,361 for the homes that are on the market in Harrisburg. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump off to another neighborhood, then we'll talk about what has sold in the last 90 days. Okay, so we have just pulled into Addison Park. There's one for sale. This is a lot of mid-block homes in here. This is a very different neighborhood. You know, a lot of fiber cement siding, some stone siding. And this is compared to Blume, where we just came from. 1.5 stories, a lot of them. For Frog family room over the garage, that's a 1.5 story. Front load 2-car garages. But what's for sale in here right now is one single home for, I think the price was let me look that thing up. It was $491, and that was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,800 square foot home built in 2022, so very new. And that's what you're getting in this neighborhood. You know, homes in that price range, mid to high 4s, low 5s, and when they get to be obviously a little bit bigger, a little bit more. So what we're going to do is scoop around this cul-de-sac here so you can see the other side of the road. I really like the style of these homes, quite a bit different. Sometimes you can hear these be called the craftsman style home, although it may not fit the exact elevation for craftsman style. But again, that's what you're going to hear. Just like traditional and transitional, a lot of times they're just mixed in with each other. Nobody knows the difference. But again, this is Addison Park. This is a little bit away from the hustle and bustle of Route 49. This is off Rocky River Road and Hickory Road. So out in the outskirts a little bit of Harrisburg, not necessarily in towards the business profile area of Harrisburg, but very nice location. This is just up the street from Blume. Abington is also up the street, another great looking neighborhood. But again, Harrisburg's got a lot to offer. The cost of living in Harrisburg is a little bit below the national norm, but the price of homes is right up there with the high end. So if you want more information about this neighborhood or others, press the comment button, let us know, and we'll dig that information up for you. Kind of like this little mailbox place right in here. Cool. Okay, so before we head over to the public schools, which are rated an A on niche.com, and I think I'll mention that when we get there, of course. I also want to let you know that niche.com also talks about communities, and they rate communities, and this is nationwide. And as far as Harrisburg goes, I think it's number 3, but don't quote me on that. Harrisburg was rated as one of the best communities to live in North Carolina. And some of the grades that they got, number 1 was public schools an A, housing an A, good for families an A+, and jobs an A, diversity an A, nightlife a B-. You can just head west to get into Charlotte a little bit to get that B- turned up to a B+ or an A. But again, niche.com, take a look at that. Take a look at the community, and you'll see it's very highly rated, an overall grade of A+. And they look at the schools, the environment, the homes, the cost of living, everything, those 100,000 surveys or 100 million surveys that they've done around the country. So take a look at niche.com. I think I've said that for the 3rd time. And again, before we go over to the school, do you want to talk a little bit about some of the things that are very nearby Harrisburg, not necessarily always in the city, but very nearby. And the first thing we'll talk about is, this is really going to float your boat if you're a NASCAR fan. It's used to be called Lowe's Motor Speedway, and now I think it's back to Charlotte Motor Speedway. A couple 100,000 people packed into the track area watching the Coca-Cola 600 every May. They've got some drag racing going on there. You can hear that. That's pretty loud. But that's one of the historical centers of the NASCAR world. And if you want a little bit more NASCAR, just go west into Charlotte, again, 20-25 minutes or so, and you'll bump into, or you'll find, the NASCAR Hall of Fame. And that's a pretty cool place. Okay, another place that's nearby the Speedway is a place called PNC Music Pavilion. And that's a great outdoor setting where they've got a big old pavilion. They've got seats. You can sit up on the lawn. You can sit in seats, listen to musical pavilion. So you listen to musical events there. And this summer coming up, for example, there's Judas Priest. There's Hootie and the Blowfish. There's Alanis Morissette, Maroon 5. So that's some of the things that I can relate to. But just to let you know, if you're the younger crowd or an older crowd, my kids who are in their early 20s would head up there all the time when they were in high school, and they even hung for the summer in college to catch one of their favorite artists at a concert. So it does play to all age groups. Another family outing event you can do is head up to Great Wolf Lodge to go spend the weekend. A lot of kids and their families head up there. Some of the older folks can go up there too and hang out, but that is Great Wolf Lodge. Fantastic place up near the Concord Mills Mall. And if you want to get outside a little bit more, other than Veterans Park and Harrisburg Park, there's Far Mill Park, and then there's Stallings Park. And the Far Mill Park has got a connection to the Carolina Thread, which is about 350 miles worth of trails that go through a couple counties, I think 15 counties, 2 states, North and South Carolina. Some of the trails they call blue trails, which are going through the city area. And then, of course, there's the trails on the hills. There's bike trails and running trails. So get outside, have a good time. Or if you want to get outside and grab a beer or grab some lunch or grab some dinner. And now lastly, I already kind of pre-mentioned this, but Concord Mills Mall is just a little bit to the north. I think I highlighted Concord Mills Mall when I talked about the Highland Creek neighborhood in another video. But it is one of the larger malls in North Carolina, if not just the region, anchored by Dave & Buster's. There's all sorts of clothing. Shoot, I was going to say facilities, but that sounds like an Army term. All sorts of stores there, anchor stores, big stores, little stores, all sorts of little shops. But Concord Mills Mall is surrounded by restaurants, surrounded by fast food, and nearby to Harrisburg. So just a little bit further up north. All right, now let's go ahead and check out the number 3 school, the number 3 high school in Cabarrus County. All right, I told you we would get to the schools in Harrisburg, and this is the highlight of the schools, Hickory Ridge High School. I think they're the Ragin' Cajuns or something like that. My son's high school played up here last year in a state tournament soccer game and won. But this is a very highly rated school, Hickory Ridge. They're an A overall grade from niche.com, so check out niche.com. 20-to-1 school or student-teacher ratio. Great facilities right across the street from the Hickory Ridge Middle School. And you can't see it, but their athletic facilities are over there. Top-notch, really top-notch athletic facilities. A stadium and all that good stuff. Let me back away here, though. But again, a 4A school in North Carolina. You've got Hickory Ridge Elementary, Hickory Ridge Middle, Harrisburg Elementary, and then Hickory Ridge High School. And they are all highly rated. And like I said, check out niche.com and greatschools.org to get your fill. There's about 1,683 students that go to this school. Again, making them a decent-sized school in North Carolina. It is just so calm and peaceful here. There's some athletic events going on, full parking lot. Could hear cheering every once in a while. And just an awesome day in the Carolinas today. Well, we hope you enjoyed this video on the suburb Harrisburg, the Charlotte suburb of Harrisburg, just to the east on the outside of 485. If you're looking for something more, leave a comment. Maybe give us a like. We'd love for you to hit the subscribe button so you can be the first to know when we put out new videos. And then share this with any of your friends that might be thinking about moving to the Charlotte market. If you're coming to this area, we want to learn who you are, what you're looking for, and we'd be happy to schedule a Zoom call with you. Get in that description down below and find the URL, or text us, or email us, send us any questions you'd like to learn, you'd like to get some firsthand knowledge about. So again, thank you very much. You guys have a great day.